To the My Type of Fun Fact tutorial. Sorry about the husky voice. What you're going to first of all go through and do is download your design. So it will be under Compass, under the Resource tab, Practical Type Design, and the Student Fun Fact Design, and just go through and download that. This download tab should appear. If it doesn't, just go under Tools and Downloads. Double click on that. That will extract the file, and you should be able to find your design in here. Obviously some of the designs will need to go through and rotate, and today we'll be playing around with this one here. Once you've done that, open up Illustrator, open up Photoshop, and we'll open a new document. So just go File, New. You can change this to international paper, and that's what we want in terms of working out if you want it portrait or landscape. So 290, 210 wide is obviously going to be in portrait. Resolution will be fine at about 150. Background color can be white, CMYK is great, and select OK. Then what we're going to do is throw in our image. So if we find this, the design we want to bring in, I believe, is that one. And therefore that's come in. So you should be able to just copy and just drag it onto the page. Otherwise, you can always go in Photoshop, File, Place, or on CC will be File, Place, Embedded. Now, what we need to do first of all is go through and rotate the image. So Image, Rotate Canvas, and we want it counterclockwise. We'll make it a little bit darker. So Image, Contrast, and that will just brighten it up a tad. Now, when these have gone through and been scanned, you can see around the outside it's missed an area here where the scan bed can't go across the whole page. So we'll need to drag that in, just so when we start filling it in Illustrator, or if you fill it in Photoshop, if you want to have these different colors, it's going to be really difficult to do at the moment. Whereas if we drag it in, therefore there'll be different sort of shapes. Therefore you'll be able to change quite easily. And drag that in roughly to there. Same thing on this side. And just have a look at the top and the bottom. They all seem pretty fine. And press return when you're happy. Now what we need to go through and do is just remove any sort of blemishes, and they're probably going to be caused by the erasing that you've done. So you should be able to go through, whoops. And just use the erasers fine. Other ones you can go through and do, and if you're getting set up with Photoshop, the spot healing tool, so it will, little area there, just click, whoops, area, click, and it just samples obviously what's around it and gets rid of what is needed to be get rid of. And that's the same thing with the other tool, which you might be able to use it here, is the healing brush. And so once again, you'll just have to press Alt to set it. And so with that little arrow, it's going to be sampling pixels from there and then moving them to the affected area that you're replacing. Now it's sort of done something there because it's starting to pick up this line. So in most cases, just using the eraser, you'll be fine. And so go through and just make any sort of essential repairs that are needed. Now I won't spend too much time on it. Tristan's done an awesome job. Once you've done that, you can then move on into Illustrator. So just go File, Save, whoops. File, Save. Crank that to 12. that will be saved in the original location. We can close that. We'll now open Illustrator and start adding some colors. So File, New in Illustrator, A4, which orientation you'd like, and OK. And once again, just move that image onto the screen. And it should fit in your design. It doesn't matter if it doesn't go all the way to the edge, probably even better if it doesn't, because the printer can't print all the way to the edge, so it's going to crop out some anyway. Once you've selected it, we want to make an image trace, which you would have done in those tutorials beforehand. And so that's going to turn what has been a pixel-based image into a vector-based image. Now this will happen. It's going to take a little bit to process it. So I might even quit Photoshop to make it a bit quicker. And select OK. It can take sort of 30 seconds to process it. There we go, pretty quick. Zoom in and out to see how the image is looking. If you'd like it, make it darker, or if you're sort of concerned that it's gonna, if we try and make that H a certain color and the background different, we can see there it might bleed out. Well, fingers crossed it doesn't. If you want to make it darker, just click this tab, that icon. This tab will appear. Default's what we're after. You can make it the threshold darker or lighter, depending on your image. And once you're happy with that, you can close that icon and just press expand. And therefore now we can see what's happened. It's made this into all different little shapes rather than being a pixel-based image. We'll snap that out to the size. The thing to go through and do now really is start putting in the colors. So if you select the area, go up to Object, drop down to Live Paint and Make. It will process it once again. You'll know when you're in Live Paint mode, this outside will have these little tabs to indicate you're in Live Paint mode. And we'll start adding color using the Live Paint tool, which is under this Shape Builder tool. So the Live Paint bucket, and you'll be able to select your colors. So I'll make a nice blue sky for the top, and it will be nice and blue. There may be issues with the images coming in, and you're selecting colors here, the color appears, placing colors down, and it's just going grayscale. That may be because when I scanned it, it was in black and white or grayscale. So you'll just have to, on the colors tab, so this icon, drop down and change it to CMYK if it's under grayscale. San Francisco area, we might make it dark, so one's in night, one's during the day, and start putting in colors. What can I do? Might even sample that same color. And pop it in. And so you'll find it's really quick and easy to go through and fill in the colors. Now we haven't had any issues with the, try and make sure that you keep the lines black with it bleeding out as yet. Keep making minor mistakes. And it's picked it up there really well, hasn't bled through. We'll go that outside, slightly darker, and that's all pretty good. Slightly darker once again for the very outside. Missed a few bits. And so you're going to be able to use the eyedropper tool to sample colors and place them back in the areas needed. Shouldn't be able to pick up that. Good. If you are having issues and it is bleeding through, like it might do here, where there's that gap, double click, no, go up to Object, drop down to Live Paint, Gap Options, and you can go through and make these gaps larger and even customize them. At the moment, it's going to detect, okay, if there's a gap of 1.0538, it's going to close it off. If it's any bigger, it's going to fill it. So go through and finalize your design. You can add gradients, and you can also even divide these up. So if you want to add different areas, at the end you're going to select it, Object, Live Paint, and Release. And you can select areas then, and you can cut them. So now that area should detect. Maybe I haven't cut all the way through. No, I haven't. Try one over here. Now that area we should be able to make darker. So it gives the option to show in a lot more tone, even without it having a sort of darkened area outline. So go through and complete the design. Make sure you're filling it in and also experimenting with gradients. We want at least to have about 4 gradients over the whole design, just to give that sense of form, a bit more three-dimensional, a bit more professional. Okay, thank you.